Hello there, and welcome back to the Brit and Aussie podcast. It's been
It's been 84 years!
look, I don't want to talk about it. It's
It's been a minute.
yeah. Um
Just a little bit,
yeah. So long so that we're not gonna say, oh, we aim to have podcasts out every. You'll get one when you get one, okay?
Yeah, it's not like Cyberpunk. It'll be ready when it's ready.
Yeah.
No shade.
No shade, no shade. But yeah, we're back. Here we are. And this was all just like it's been an ongoing thing over the past 3 years of
Uh-huh.
oh we should record another podcast, and it's
Oh, we
always
should
been
we
like
should do one of those.
yeah, and then it's always like oh yeah okay I'm good when you are, and then life has a way.
Yeah. It's always something will come up. I'll be asleep.
I'll be asleep. Yeah,
Quite often it's because I'm asleep.
yeah.
Or we end up just playing a game or something instead.
Yeah, because it's kind of like you've got this allocated time that you don't have anything else to do, and it's been difficult to motivate ourselves to go, yeah, let's record another podcast. But that's exactly what we're doing
Yeah.
now. A few days ago, I was like, hey, Wolf, let's do a podcast. Let's just not tell anyone. Let's do it. And I kept up my end. Did you tell anyone?
Yep. I did not.
No, me neither.
But yeah, 3 years, man.
Yep.
Couple of things have happened, I feel like.
Yeah, a few local events and a few
Not so local.
yeah
um, big Rona
yeah
is
that's
the
the
main
kind of
thing, yeah.
there's a corona sized elephant in the room which we're gonna
We have to stay 6 feet from, yeah.
we have to stay 6 feet from, but we're gonna tackle this elephant in a tasteful way.
Even I don't believe that.
What, tackle the tasteful elephant?
Uh,
Yeah, so for anyone that doesn't know, back in 2020, no, no, I imagine most of you know, and if you don't know, then that's not even a question. Could you imagine? Right, here's the first thing. I was thinking, could you imagine something more popular than the coronavirus? Because
I don't know if I'd call it popular.
not pop, but as in well
Infamous,
known.
maybe?
Because yeah, infamous. Do you think there are like
Oh,
tribes?
have you heard of the coronavirus? It's really popular right now. Super trendy.
It's so hip. No, like, do you think there are remote tribes that have absolutely no idea that this even happened?
Oh, absolutely. And probably didn't get exposed to it either
Yeah,
way.
because for me it's just like even in like tiny mountain towns with populations of like I don't know, I don't know how many of the population of mountain towns, but I know say I don't know 100 people, 1,000 people,
Yeah.
they would still have heard of it, I imagine.
I've lived in a town like that.
Yeah, some like
I can tell you what, though, the people in those kind of towns probably would have heard of it, but they also probably didn't care, for
yeah,
sure. It's really hard to get towns like that to kind of stick to any enforced ruling.
yeah, because like who's going to tell them off? Like all the police, everyone knows the police. They're like, hey, how's it going?
Oh, when I lived out in the country, there was a police station in town, but it was always closed up because the police were always 2 towns over,
Yeah,
and that's where they stayed. So good luck getting a cop to show up.
or the police is like a guy, he's
Yeah, it was. It was
the
like
police officer.
one guy for the area.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can't think of anything. I mean, especially in today's social media age, right? Any
Yeah,
kind of disease or viral outbreak, it gets widespread mass
yeah.
panic kind of shit. This is probably the worst example. Yeah.
But you think about like bird flu and like swine flu and all these other ones. They didn't really catch on.
Well, I mean, what did we have? We didn't. Did we even have Twitter back then?
I feel like swine flu was because I feel like that was fairly recent. Swine flu. That was that was 2009.
When the hell did Twitter come out? But I
Twitter
feel like they weren't as quickly spreading, and they didn't have as
2006.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it wasn't huge yet. Like, I think this is the first sort of outbreak we've had in the
Yeah.
full on. Everyone's on social media. Everyone's
And
glued to
and I
Twitter.
think that's part of the problem because you've given
Oh, for
everyone a
sure.
voice, which means everyone's like, it's actually the government injecting, lizard juice into us to make us all join the reptilian brotherhood.
That's right. I remember I was messaging you when I was getting my vaccinations, like, where's my lizard powers
Yeah.
and all that.
And yeah, and I was like, welcome to the reptilian brotherhood.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, and for those in the know,
Yeah. Yeah, I was just like, after I'd had it, I was just, sitting at home. It's like, oh, don't feel anything different. And then a fly flew in through the window. Just, from across the from across the room.
delicious,
Yeah,
very, very nutritious.
yeah,
But
yeah. But apart from that, no.
no, I think yeah, you're right. That is part of why the panic about it was so. Because I definitely don't dispute that it was a problem
Oh
for
yeah,
sure, but the panic and the response to it did get a bit overboard.
yeah. If basically they said, hey, there's this really bad thing, loads of people dying from it. Um, just do this, and then that's it. No more media was allowed to report on it. Every like social media had some sort of filter that if you tried to, not that behind censorship, but I'm saying if they tried to talk about it, it was just removed or whatever. Um, and the only information you got was the official, like, yo, this is what's going on.
Yeah, I think they definitely overplayed it a bit.
Yeah,
It should have been taken seriously, but it shouldn't have been like the world is going to end kind
yeah.
of thing that it was. Because it's still going. People are still trying to lock everything down, which to me is kind of wild.
Yeah, I think the crazy thing for me is that obviously it was left for each individual government to be like to sort it out, like do their bit to protect their own country and the people in it.
Hmm.
Because I noticed this massive divide of like some countries like you gotta wear a mask, you can't leave the house unless it's essential, you can't if you do go out you have to do it between I don't know these hours and you have to be this far away from people and all this. And then other countries it was literally just like, oh yeah, don't don't catch it. Good luck. It's more like the Hunger Games.
Yeah. It got weird in Australia for a bit because we didn't have even close to the same amount of cases that other places
Yeah.
got. But we got the same sort of lockdown, so it was weird.
Yeah.
It got south of me. It got pretty wild.
I
And there was some protest that they had actually where people were putting their shoes outside of their house
right.
because they were tackling. There was some old granny that got tackled for going to the park.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember specifics, but I remember hearing about that.
I remember around the time you said there were like helicopters out and shit to be like, oh, what are you doing? Go home. I remember at one point you said there were like helicopters out to.
I don't think that was where I live, but that did
No, but I
happen.
remember you did mention it. Yeah.
It was just bananas. But it is what it is. It could have been handled a lot better, but we're at the tail end of it now. I think
Yeah,
people are
yeah,
really
yeah.
kind of tired of it. There's definitely a fatigue about it.
Yeah. I mean, I got it, and it was rough, to say the least. But I mean, I wasn't one of the like vulnerable people, so I didn't die from it or have any serious effects. But yeah, I was just pretty ill.
Yeah.
Would not recommend.
So you've moved
I've
since.
moved. Yeah.
Yeah, you're slightly downwind now.
I live down south.
Not a huge move, but
I
oh
mean,
no, it's 3 hours. That's a pretty good
yeah,
move.
it's a 3 hour drive, which for me here is like, oh, that's a fairly big move. And then it's funny in America, it's like that's not even out of a state,
No,
or
no,
like,
same here.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Someone like goes to see their gran down here, like 150 miles, but here this is like, I wouldn't say half the country.
I mean, if I drive for an hour, I'm still in the same city.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I've moved. I live by the beach now.
Hmm.
What the seaside?
Never gonna make use of that, but it's good that you have it.
No, 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 no. Thing is, I've been a couple of times, but I like the sea. I like being in the sea and being like, oh, I'm having a little swimmy. I hate
Mm-hmm.
everything else about it because you get out, sand. I hate sand.
Me
It's
too. It's so coarse
and
and
rough.
rough.
Gets
Just gets
everywhere.
everywhere. Uh, but do you hate it because it's a British beach?
No, I hate it because it's sand.
Yeah, but
Genuinely,
it's
right?
British sand.
No, well, no, it doesn't. It doesn't matter.
I mean, you colonized the world kind of for a reason. So miserable over there, you just had to get out.
Yeah, but what it is, you get out the beach. You get out the beach. You get out the sea immediately. So first you're on like that wet sand that doesn't stick to your feet, okay, and then it's like, oh, there's the car. I need to get back to there, or like there's the towel that we've put out. So I walk to
Yeah.
it, and then that's it. My feet are now sand, just, and I hate it because you can't get it off. You try and like brush it off. I've tried different. I've brought like bottle of water,
But
to
water,
try and like wash it off. And I just this is such a
you know,
non-problem, but
first world problems, sure.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, the sand at my beach
Okay.
house just gets everywhere.
The other thing I tried, right, was I got
Uh-huh.
me my sandals, my sliders, my well no, they're not quite thongs. 'Cause they don't go between your toes. They're just the slippy on ones. But the
Slippers.
sandals, yeah. Well, they're not slippers,
They're
because
slippers.
okay, which are Greg's, by the way. Do you know about Greg's? Anyway, that's
Uh,
oh yeah, we spoke about
why
Greg's
don't you
before.
give them back to Greg?
No, 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 no. There's a bakery
Get
chain
your
over
own
here.
sandals.
There's a bakery chain over here called
Wait,
Greg's.
wait, you shop at a fucking bakery so much they gave you sandals? How much of a fat cunt are you?
No, I
How
tell you
many
what, I used
sausage
to.
rolls did it take to
I
get
can't
these
remember. I can't remember
sandals?
if we spoke about this on a past podcast. This was the place. Remember that I said the queue went out the door, and like, so I'd have to like
You were
pick up
first
the
in line,
food.
right?
No, no, no. Remember, I had to pick up the food, but then to join the queue, I had to
Yeah,
leave the
yeah,
store
yeah,
and
yeah,
join the queue, and it was
yeah.
always an awkward thing.
It was a
Anyway,
disorganized queue. You
it,
hated
it
it.
I hated it. Yeah. Um, and so yeah, I tried like bringing my sandals to the water, so like I get out and then bam, sandals on before I get onto the sticky sand. But here's the
Rookie
problem.
mistake.
No, I mean it's okay because the sandals are then a bit kind of wet inside, but that's all right. But then, as you start walking onto the sand, obviously your sandal sinks in, sand comes over the top, same problem again.
Yeah, any Australian or beach going person that listens to this is just going
They
to
go,
be so
ah,
triggered
fucking
by you.
idiot.
You idiot. And what you're supposed to do is not put your shoes on at all. And you have to get the sand to dry,
Well, yeah.
and then you have to kick it off.
Okay, right. In this example, right, Sophie and I, who's my
Mail order
lovely
bride,
girlfriend.
yeah.
Yeah. Ordered her.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. We'll get. That's a whole other thing.
That's
We
part of the
managed.
move. That's part of the move.
That is part of the move. Yeah. So
Well, root and cause of said move.
we found this beach, really nice, and I was fed up with the beaches that. Well, I wasn't fed up. I was bloody had it. No, I was just like a bit like about the beaches that you had to like walk to and from, and this one, right? You literally pay, and you essentially park on the beach. Like you just park, there's a space, and then 3 steps you're on sand. So it's great because I'm always about like worrying because obviously I'm not going to bring my phone, so I leave it in the car. But then I'm like worrying, like, oh, phone's in the car. What if it gets broken into? Because of where I grew up here, like I don't know if anyone actually robs anyone. But either way, so yeah, I was in the water and I could see the car from where I was, and we got out the water because, in fact, I think this was even because I was in the sea, and then I was like, oh, I've got D&D. I need to get back. So I got out, but then in this example, I wanted to leave straight away. There's no time for the sand to dry to then be brushed off.
Well, then that's just poor time management, isn't it? Because what you normally do is, well, normally you live in a country where beaches vastly superior, and there's this thing called sunlight.
Oh yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah.
It makes the rain warmer. Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
Very warm rain is a thing.
Yeah.
But you're either walking far enough that the sand will dry and you can just kick it off your feet, or you just chill out off the actual beach bit and it will dry there. Okay. And you can just kick it off your feet. Or our beaches actually have a lot of them will have a shower.
Yes. One of them does have, in fact, I think actually the one I'm talking about does also have one. I just didn't use it.
Well, then that's purely on you.
Yeah, but then I'll have like wet foot. But right, what I'm saying, I don't want the world. I just want to get out the sea, walk across the sand, get in my car, and have dry, non-sandy feet. That's how privileged I am.
That's not how water
I know.
Weather works, unfortunately. I'm shaking my head with so much judgment.
Yeah, I can tell. I can feel your head shaking.
Yeah. But no, I don't think I've ever had that problem. Normally it's like you just don't give a fuck about a few bits of sand getting in your car.
Yeah, but
because usually the car you go to the beach in is like the most beat up car in the family.
Yeah,
so it doesn't matter.
Unfortunately, a new beach goer, and I only have one car.
Peasant. No. No, but you gotta.
Oh, you gotta buy yourself a beach car.
You gotta get a beach car. No, but you'd go in like, the family car with all the kids in it. So it's probably not going to be the greatest car because kids are horrible and messy anyway. So then you're like,
The other thing I'm considering, right? Because at the moment I've got like really nice carpet mats in the car, right? Get like shitty cheap rubber ones. So the sand will just go on those, and then you can just like brush it off.
Or just let your feet dry and kick it off, or use the fucking shower at the beach.
Yeah, these are all possibilities.
and have slightly wet feet and you could have your missus bring you a fucking towel to dry your precious feet.
Bring, woman, bring me a towel. My feet are damp.
I'm sure she would love that. She wouldn't kill you at all.
My dream beach, okay,
Uh-huh.
is so you get out the water,
Right.
okay. First of all, I hate the beaches that have like that stony bit. When you first get in the water, then it's like stone, 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 stone. You have to like awkwardly walk over the stones. I
Oh,
hate
bloody land masses being so inconvenient.
I hate that. So, my ideal beach, none of that. You just walk straight from the sand into the water, no stones.
Uh-huh.
Okay?
Uh-huh.
And then when you get out the water, there's like a walkway directly from the sea to the car. And maybe in between there's a foot dryer.
A foot dryer.
A foot dryer, yeah.
It sounds like you want to invest in a dock and park your car on the end of a dock
With a foot dryer.
with a foot dryer.
Yes, that's what I want.
Wow.
So if any beach entrepreneurs are listening, hit me up. I got ideas.
I think any beach entrepreneurs would have already left in disgust.
Listen to this guy with his privileged
Or just
feet.
go to a real beach and the sun will dry your feet by the time you get to your car.
Yeah, not bad idea.
But speaking of mail order brides, you got one.
Yeah, not specifically mail order. You know, it's a bit more complicated. But yeah, that's a new thing. I probably should have said that at the start. Quick rewind. What's changed in the past 3.5 years? Not much. Yep, I have a lovely woman called Sophie.
Chapman.
We met on Twitch, believe it or not. There's actually real ones on there.
There is.
Yeah, I couldn't quite believe it. And the strange thing is, and I don't know how this has happened, but Wolf also has a Polish woman.
I don't even think you mentioned that she was Polish. We need to play that back. Did you say Sophie was Polish?
I don't know. They're both Polish.
They're both Polish. From Poland.
From Poland, live in
Funnily
Poland, different
enough.
parts. They didn't know each other.
Nope.
This wasn't like a double date situation.
No. Independently found two Polish women.
Yeah. And I didn't go, right, let's find a Polish woman, and neither did Wolf. It just,
Just happened. And mine also on Twitch, and that's a new thing for me as well. I went over to Poland.
And so did I. And, well, this is going to be a whole segment.
Oh, yeah.
So, you like it?
Poland is great. And that's the funny thing. You have ordered in your missus, and I'm trying to move over there. So I'm going to be the export while you're importing.
Yeah. I went to Poland, went, it's nice, bit Polish. And
that's what I liked about it.
Yeah. Now my girlfriend has moved to England. She's managed to get a transfer with her job, and she lives over here now. And I thought, well, she's moving country. I guess I can move. So I moved as well. Poland. Wow, what a wild place.
You say that with such enthusiasm.
No, I just
Poland is great. I absolutely loved it over there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get in trouble for this because the lovely Kasha, who is mine lady, always gets mad when I mention food first, but the food there was phenomenal.
She won't listen to this.
She might. But yeah, I did not have a single bad meal or snack or anything there. Whole time. I was there for like a month.
No bad meals.
And it was not a single one. They were all extremely delicious. Which was really surprising. Because normally you expect, like, yeah, the food would be good, but there'll be some
Yeah.
okay ones, but not everything
It was
was
actually good.
fantastic.
Yeah.
I've been dreaming about pierogies, not gonna lie.
Oh yeah.
But no, I had a great time over there. It was fantastic, and walking around Old Town was fantastic. I went to the zoo. I got to see a jaguar.
Yeah.
Tried to see a lion, but I only saw its butt.
Not nice. Was it nice?
It was pretty sturdy lion butt, I must admit.
Slap it.
No, don't do that.
No.
But I am 100% looking forward to going back, and I am gonna live there as soon as possible.
I'm disappointed that you didn't do either a video slash stream. Obviously, a video probably easier of you going around the zoo as Steve Irwin.
I'm not gonna lie. Rip to Steve, miss you,
rip.
mate. But a couple of times I did catch myself doing it a little bit, just kind of quietly.
Oh, she's a beauty. Just like
danger. But it was hell of an experience. But that's life is funny that way, you know. For me, right about, because I did mention it to you, I was like, I think I'm ready to date again. And then a week later, she comes into my stream.
Came out the woodwork.
Came out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
And she just put the moves on me straight away.
Stole your heart.
She did steal me from you. That is a thing.
Yeah. Should we talk about the thing I didn't like in Poland? And it's a big thing. It's
yes, we should cover it. Your Britishness will
I know,
allow
it's
it to go unanswered.
It was a deal breaker for me. I thought, no, I can't live in this country.
I got one of my own.
Yeah. This one, it was really. There's culture shock, and then there's this. So this may differ in where you live in the world, but in my experience, and I have confirmed with Wolf, it's the same for him. When you cross the road in front of a car, like a pedestrian crossing, whether they have to stop or whether they just stop out of kindness to let you cross, as you're going across, you just give a little. I wouldn't even call it a wave. It's a kind raise of the hand.
An acknowledgement.
Acknowledgement. Yeah, kind raise of the hand. It could just be like an index finger, like a cheers. You know, that kind of slight head. I'm doing it now, but you can't see that slight head, like nod. Forward.
Yeah.
Cheers, mate.
For sure.
Thank you. And it's like, you know, you're not going to get down your knees and go, "Thank you for stopping for me, motorist." But you know, it's just that little. Oh, cheers, mate.
And even sometimes you might do a little jog or walk a bit quicker.
Yeah,
cheers. So they can get going faster.
And on the other side of it, if I am as a motorist, if I've stopped to allow someone to cross and they give me a little cheers, then I might even give one back. Like, oh, no problem. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah. It's just a nice little. In Poland, it doesn't exist. You don't do it. It's. I did it a few times.
I got told not to do it.
Yeah, I got told off for doing it. Like, oh, what are you doing? Because they might think you're doing another hand gesture, which I thought, well, I'm not, am I? Like, and what? That wouldn't make sense. If someone let me cross the road and I just flip them off, what's to stop them from just running me over?
Yeah. I did it while I was there. I'm not going to let nobody stop me from saying cheers, mate.
And for me, no. And that was the biggest thing for me. I just couldn't. Every time I crossed the road, I just had to look forward with sadness in my eyes as they let me cross.
No, I just did
no
it
acknowledgement.
Anyway. I didn't really. I got a couple of people that waved back, but a lot of people didn't really give a shit.
Well, they thought, who's this fucking
smug?
Gesturing at me.
The thing that triggered me in Poland,
Yeah.
and I hated it, is when you are walking just on the footpath, people will walk right up behind you.
Yeah. Yeah.
With no intention of passing you. It's not that you're walking too slow for them. They are purposefully walking right behind you, and they stay right on your ass. And that drove me nuts.
Yeah. It's strange how personal space in different countries or settings is different. So in some countries, it's very much like, just generally, they were prepared for COVID way before it. They just generally have like you don't get in other people's business.
Like in Sweden, with the bus stops, where they stand like 8 feet apart at all times.
That's weird. That is, it's like a roulette wheel. It's like, you never know where the bus is gonna stop.
I remember Maya sending us that photo. Swedish things.
Yeah. Oh, secret mushroom patch.
That too. Yeah.
It's just
for any Swedish people that might listen to this, where's your mushroom patch?
You can't just ask Swedish people where their secret mushroom patch is.
You can. You can trust us.
It's like, go on, we'll just have a little look.
Just a little look.
If you're confused by this, Google it. I don't even know how to get into this.
It's a nice little rabbit hole.
Yeah. It's not worth
But
Sweden's just crazy.
They apparently stand like fucking 20 feet away from each other at bus stops, which was...
Yeah.
So they were ready to go.
Whereas here, it's like, it's a free-for-all, Like, people might be sitting there playing it cool. As soon as that bus comes around the corner or is within range, that one person's got to step forward and take one for the team and put their hand out for the bus. Because it would be weird if everyone did it. So it's always just the first person that has to go like, oh, yeah, I want this bus.
Yeah. And like, for the walking behind thing, here, if someone's walking up right on your ass here, it's likely they're trying to rob you or something.
Yeah, like pickpocket or just straight up,
just straight up bash you. It's not good. But what weirded me out in Poland is when you're walking, people get right up behind you. But in every other situation, everyone keeps away from each other.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. What is it about the walking part where it's like, oh, I gotta like drift off this person?
It's just like catch a slipstream, and like racing games.
Yeah. Because I would legit tense up because I'm so used to like. I kept thinking like, oh, this guy's gonna try something or whatever.
Yeah. Do you ever get like? For me, if you're walking behind someone, you're either walking fast, they're walking slow, or a bit of both. Like, you can't just straight up like walk directly behind them, especially if there isn't enough space to pass, if it's like kind of a bit tight.
Yeah.
You kind of follow at a distance, and then it's like driving.
You slow down or speed up as required.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is the only time you get behind them is basically when you're passing. You're like, oh, and here's my gap, and go past, and then go. And then you have to weirdly walk faster so you're not walking at the same speed as them.
Yeah, and that's the normal thing. But yeah, in Poland, it was just because basically every day I had people walking right up in my business. I'll tell you what, though, I did get petty with it.
Yeah.
And me being petty, I know that's a strange concept.
Insert another surprise Pikachu.
Yeah. But I won't lie. I did fart a couple of times.
You crop dusted him.
I did crop dust him, and it did make them drop back. If you come up on me, I will release the chemical weapons. I'm not afraid to do it.
let's translate this to Americat terms. So Americat, when you get right
Uh-huh.
behind someone, you slipstream them, right?
Uh-huh.
Americat, you see someone getting behind you, you drop a
Mm.
banana or a green
Yeah,
shell
yeah, yeah.
backwards. That's what
I
you
bet
did.
they wished it smelt like banana.
Yeah. Depends what you'd had the night before. Probably pierogies.
I did eat a lot of pierogi.
Yeah.
It was fucking beautiful. And funnily enough, Kasha's grandmother made me pierogies because she heard I was eating store-bought ones, and she was
And she's
offended
like,
by
no,
that.
no, no.
She said, "No. He's gonna eat real ones," and they were
That's
really
good.
good too.
Yeah.
They were fucking massive too.
Oh, another story about when I went to Poland. It's kind of the polar opposite of someone's grandma making you pierogies,
Uh
or
huh.
however you say it. When I was in Poland, I was looking on TripAdvisor, like things to do, because we had like a few days free when Sophie wasn't working and everything. And I was like, I'm gonna shoot some guns. There's a gun
Yeah.
range
Yeah.
not too far away. Looked at the prices. I was like, I mean everything's cheap there, but I was looking at the
Oh
price
yeah.
for shooting guns, and I was like, that's pretty decent. Went there. Sophie was like, yeah, go on, I'll give it a go, and she went as well. And I've never felt like it's weird. I've never felt like more of a man because I'm like, oh, I'm shooting guns, and like the recoil that you know quakes your bones,
Yeah.
and at the
The
same time
power.
less of a man from the guys that work there because that's just every day for them. I'm
Yeah.
not even
Yeah.
gonna try and do the accent, but we went there and he was just like, oh, you want to shoot guns? And we're like, oh yes please, yeah. And then you get like a weird menu of of guns. It's like, yeah, which one do you want to shoot? So you pick, and Americans listen to this are like, yeah, we shoot guns every day, whatever.
Yeah.
But it was strange for me. And yeah, he was just like, okay, follow me. Hands me an assault rifle. I'm just like, okay, this is clearly every day for you. This is not every day for me. This is very strange. So I like carried this assault rifle to the range, and then like his English wasn't amazing, so some of the very important safety briefing Sophie then had to translate to me,
Which
which
is
was
never quite
which is
perfect.
the
It's
yeah
never.
yeah and then I yeah shot some guns. It was really fun, but the
I
guys that yeah
I am disappointed though because you did tell me about this, and
I didn't
you
hold it
did not.
sideways.
You didn't hold it sideways. How were you
uh,
supposed to get a kill shot?
I was specifically told in this said safety instruction to not hold it sideways.
Yeah, but are they more like guidelines than actual rules? Is it just
More
you're
like
not supposed to hold it
guidelines.
sideways because you're just not ready for that yet?
Yeah, maybe if I go back, I'm like, oh no, don't worry. Last time I held it the proper way.
Yeah,
I know
once
what I'm
you've been a
doing
few
now.
times, but speaking of translations, how is your Polish? Have you picked up any of it?
Have I? No. So no, I do a bit the old Duolingo every so often. It's like not in a selfish way, but I don't need to because because we both live
You are
here.
so British. You are
I
so British.
I know, but we Sophie speaks perfect English, right? We both live in England. She speaks English for her job,
Yeah.
and the only time she really speaks it is when she calls, you know, calls home. ETs it, calls her dad or whatever. Um, and yes, I wonder what they're talking about, but it's just
I have a funny story about that.
But yeah, I mean, I like to pick up a little bit, maybe, because I'm just not good. Some people are
Mm,
just good at languages. Like,
yeah, I hate
example,
them.
like Sophie, she speaks like three or four languages or something,
Mm,
and if you wanted to, if I was just like, okay, let's have a race to learn to speak French, I guarantee in
Oh,
like
she'd crush you.
yeah, in like a couple of weeks, she'd be like, "Oh, bonjour, je m'appelle Sophie," and like she'd just speak
Omelette
perfect
du fromage.
fromage. Yeah, that would be me after 2 weeks. Um, and she would just absolutely smash it.
Yeah, Kasha's the same way. She
Yeah,
speaks bits of multiple languages, and I'm
yeah,
like, the only thing in Polish that I learnt really was "Ishu mi dupa,"
right,
which is "Go wash your ass."
nice.
That's it. I probably butchered it just now, but
Yeah,
it's something like that.
I like kohem chair. That's I
Uh,
love you.
yeah, I know that one. Kocham and
Yeah,
dziękuję. That's thank you.
yeah.
I
There's
did say that while I was there a lot.
you
Uh,
ever like
because you know when I don't know if this is I'm pretty sure this is a British thing as well, but whenever you buy
okay,
something or get handed something, you say thank you.
yeah, of course.
Like cheers, mate. I know there's a lot of people that don't do it, but over here it's like
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Here it's like
I
if
thought so.
someone, yeah, I worked in like a retail environment, and if someone doesn't thank
It's
you,
weird.
just
It's
like,
weird.
it's weird. You're like, okay, yeah, thanks, have a nice day. And if they don't say anything back, you just want to take back all that. Like, oh, hope you have a shit day. Hope you die. Hope
Yeah,
you
like
fucking walk
it's
outside and
weird to not it's
yeah,
weird to
yeah,
not
yeah,
go
yeah,
cheers, mate. So I'd either while I was over there, I'd either say cheers, mate, or dziękuję,
yeah.
because I wanted to have at least a phrase or two.
Something under your belt. Yeah. Do you? I don't know how much she spoke it around you. I don't know if it was like whether she was talking to family
Okay,
or
yeah,
like
this is the funny story that I have. So
yeah,
I went and met Kasha's mum,
yeah,
who doesn't speak any English.
yeah,
So we were trying to talk, and she had to translate. But there was one bit where they were just talking because they were talking about like
yeah.
taxes.
Of
Because
course they were.
her mum's an accountant, so she gets
Right,
her mum to do her taxes for her and things like that.
right. She's not a spicy
And
accountant.
no,
Okay, okay, just a regular accountant.
just a regular accountant. I had to think about what's a spicy accountant.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
no,
yeah,
no.
yeah,
But yeah, so they were just talking, and it was such a surreal experience for me because her mum, first of all, was making me eat pancakes.
right.
Polish pancakes, was just feeding me every time I'd finish
Eat the
a pancake.
pancake.
It's just here's a pancake, and she's constantly slapping these
Yeah,
pancakes down
yeah,
on my plate. And Kasha wasn't eating any, so I had to like pick up the slack because I was like, you can't
yeah,
waste
yeah.
this. She's sitting there
You had to eat
cooking.
for two. Yeah,
Yeah, I had to eat for like 3 people. It was so
yeah,
many
yeah,
fucking pancakes. It was so much. They were
yeah.
so good though. But the whole time they're talking away, but it sounds like they're arguing.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I
I
didn't
have a current. Yeah,
I didn't know until later that day what they were talking
yeah,
about. That it was about taxes and that it was just a
yeah,
pleasant conversation. And because it's just da, 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 like it was
yeah,
just
yeah.
and it's just speaking really loudly and it sounds angry.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's very like
and I'm sitting there awkwardly eating pancakes, not understanding a fucking word of it,
yeah.
just hoping that everything's okay. And
It's very it's not a passionate language, but it's passionately spoken. Do you know what I mean?
yes,
Like it's
yes,
it's not like a dead like blah 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 blah
yeah,
blah 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 blah. It's like because I have a story about that as well.
like it's especially bad with Kasha and her mum because in their
Yeah.
family they have this thing where they don't really wait for people to like finish. They will like just talk louder over
Oh,
the
so
other
they're like
person
talking over each other, and it's loud, and
constantly.
it's
Yeah.
yeah.
So for a casual observer, it's like
Yeah.
uh,
So Sophie and I went into one of the times she came to visit me. We went into a Polish food shop because I like a lot of
Or
Polish food.
was it the Froggy chain?
Oh no! This was this was over here, and it was also
Oh yeah. Oh,
yeah, that's
visiting.
what I mean.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a Polish shop over here,
I gotcha.
and a lot of the time when you're in there, there will be Polish people having a conversation because they're like, "Oh, we are in this country, but we are both Polish. Let us converse in it." And yeah, while we were picking something out, the woman behind the counter was talking with another woman, and I was like, I was just looking through these crisps, and I was like, oh my god, it's fucking kicking off. They were like, and I was just like, oh my god, like, god, there's gonna be a fucking fight. And then we eventually went up and paid and left, and because I knew Sophie, like, she said she just tuned into it. If she hears it in the wild, like sometimes you'll
Yeah.
just be walking through town, she'll hear some Polish and just she's just locked onto it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I was like, what was all that about? And she said, oh, they were chatting about. She said she's looking at having like an extension done. She said she's like struggling to find a carpenter right now, and she was wondering if the other one had any recommendations. And the other one was asking just more about the extension and everything. I was just like, they weren't arguing. She's like, no. I was like, Jesus, like,
Yeah.
if you had a
Yeah.
conversation in English, like if we were like, oh, I'm having a fucking extension put on and I can't find a carpenter.
You what?
Yeah, I know, I can't find one and I
Oh
really
my
want to get this
god!
extension. You'd be like, fuck, this is going to kick off. But no, it's just a
Have a
just a
lovely
regular.
day.
No, you. No, just a regular conversation, apparently.
Yeah, yeah. I heard that quite a lot, and it was always confusing.
Yeah, exactly the same. I noticed the volume just goes up when Sophie speaks Polish, but I think it is, like I say, it's just like a passionately spoken language
Yeah,
because
yeah.
she's like, she'll be like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna go and call my dad in the other room. I'll be, oh, okay, have a nice chat.
And
And
it's just,
then
how
I
are
just
you,
hear from the other,
father? Are you well?
yeah, and then the other room I just hear. I was just like, what the fuck's going on? And then I'm like, is everything all right? Oh yeah, he's just telling me they've just got a new fiber broadband. I'm just like, oh,
Yeah,
okay, yeah,
it's-
great, good for him.
the funny thing that I discovered is, and apparently it's a legit thing because I've heard it from other Polish people, is Polish people are really, really warm and welcoming and just really lovely to any like foreigners or visitors or people from any
Yeah.
other place. But if you're a fellow Polish person, it's like, no, can't stand them.
So you're best off if you're Polish and you turn up to some sort of shindig, party or whatever. You're best off being like, "Hello, I am not Polish. I am just a foreign folk."
Yeah.
And they'll treat
But
you better.
apparently that is a thing, and because
And then they're trying to suss it out. Like, wait a second.
I noticed that everyone was so nice to me there, and it was funny. There was a moment when we were at the zoo, and we were stopping to get a drink, and I wanted some fries and that, and I was like, "Oh, babe, do you want some fries?" And she was doing that chick thing where it's like, "Oh, I'm not hungry," and they avoid eating.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, just get some. And so I gave her my card, and she goes, and apparently the guy looked at her card, not her card, at my card, specifically my card, saw that it was a foreign card.
Had like a kangaroo on it, yeah.
Started speaking to her in English.
Yeah.
And was just super nice.
Got like the best service ever.
Yeah. And she apparently, because I just stayed at the table and made her go and do it. But yeah, apparently she just responded in English and pretended that she was a foreigner. And
if she responds in Polish, just the tone changes. Fuck you.
Yeah, but we got served super quick. The fries were done in like minutes. The drink was like immediately ready, and she was like, "Yeah." And she came back and she's like, "I bet it was only so good because they thought I
Yeah.
was Australian or da da da." It was
So
funny.
when I went to Poland, I the first few days I think we just kind of stayed in and well, I mean, just because we were hanging out with each other and
Yeah,
this,
as
that,
you
and the other, and it took me a few days to venture out because there were a few days that she still had to work, so I didn't just want to
yeah.
sit there all day. So I was just like, all right, I'm gonna venture out on my own. You know, I got my phone, I got Google Translate, Google Maps, I know where we live, no problem. So I left. I went to the shop Lidl because we have it over here and it's basically the same. So I went into Lidl, bought some stuff. It's not important. I bought some groceries from Lidl. And I was like, okay, just got to pay for these and come back. And they have their self checkout in the Lidl, which was I'd never seen that before. We don't have self checkout in Lidl over here. And Lidl, if you don't know, well, for anyone who doesn't know, I'm sure they're all over the fucking world. It's just it's like a discount supermarket. It's like Aldi. They're the
Yeah.
same thing. Anyway, and yeah, I was paying for it on the self checkout, and great. I was about to pick up my stuff and go, and then the receipt printed out, and then as I reached for it, being a fucking loser, I accidentally like knocked it, and it went down behind the machine, and I was like, it's fine. Like it's just, like, I don't need it. It was just food, so it's not like I'm gonna take any of it back. And then I went to the exit, and I couldn't get out because you have to scan your receipt to get out. So here I was standing like a fucking loser by the door. Like how do I
How
how do I
do?
get out? And it was that awkward amount of time. Like if there was someone else coming out at the same time, I could have just like snuck out with them. But at the same time, I thought that'd be suspicious. Like if you've stolen something, like you would try and sneak out with someone else. Because obviously that's the idea of it. You've got a receipt, you've paid, you can get out. So at first I was like, oh, maybe I can just like fish it out from behind the machine. No chance. This machine was massive, and I looked, and there was a stack of like 30 receipts. So I wasn't the first person this had happened to, but I was probably one of the first people that didn't speak any Polish that this had happened to. And so I was just looking around, and I had to go up to one of the people working there. Of course, I picked someone that spoke absolutely no English, and I was just like, hi, I paid and the receipt fell, and now I can't get out. And they just looked at me like, what are these words coming from your mouth? And which
Sounds.
is understandable considering
Yeah.
I was in a different country. And
Yes.
they ended up having to go around like 3 different staff members before there was one, and then one just went, "Oh, English," and then they realised that I was a fucking idiot and they let me out. But it was just like the first
You were
time I
deemed
went,
too stupid to have stolen it.
literally, yeah, oh yeah. They didn't ask for, but I just had the bag of stuff and they just like
Yeah.
let me out. But I thought, what a fucking idiot. The first time I'm allowed out, I got trapped in Lidl. Not even like anywhere. Not even. Oh, I had this crazy story. I got trapped in Lidl.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I gotta ask though, like, how much shit gets stolen from that place that they have that kind of system in
I don't
place?
know.
Like,
Because
I've never heard of needing to scan a receipt to get out
me
of a
neither.
store.
Hence why, like, the amount of times that it's like, oh, do you want a receipt? And I just go, no. Like, if it's just like if it's electrical or something that I might bring back, maybe. But if it's just a couple of food bits, like, no, don't bother with the receipt. But there wasn't an
Yeah.
option to say, I don't want the receipt. It just printed it. I reached for it. It fell down the back of the machine. I was like, no biggie. I'll just leave it. Turns
That's
out you can't.
they must lose so much in theft for that to
Yeah.
I mean it seems like it would work though.
Yeah. And
if you gotta have a receipt to get out.
here's the life tip for you. If you're trying to shoplift from Lidl, just tell them you've lost your receipt, and they'll just let you out.
Or don't steal.
Yeah, or don't. But I'm saying
Yeah,
if you are shoplifting,
for legal reasons, we have to say this is a joke.
Yeah, this is. Yeah, there's far more efficient ways.
What games have you been playing, Dom?
What games have I been playing? Well,
Yeah, what have you been
I'll
playing?
tell you. I think you know what games I've been playing.
I think I do.
I have been playing, which is I have another. Okay, don't let me forget this thing.
Okay,
But,
don't forget whatever that thing is.
Okay, thank you. I've been playing Monkey Island, the point-and-click adventure games from they start in the 90s, and the last one came out in 2009. It was a Telltale game. We won't get into it. It was kind of but it's okay. But the new one is coming out on, I believe, the 18th or 19th of September. And it's by the original writers. It's in the original kind of style. I'm really looking forward to it, so I thought I'll replay all the games. So that's what I've been doing. I've been replaying old point and click games.
Had you finished all of them previously?
Yes, except for one of them, because there was a bit at the end that even when I looked at a walkthrough for that bit specifically, because as a kid I could never beat it. It was Escape from Monkey Island, which was a completely trash game. But at the end there's a bit called Monkey Combat. Right? And the walkthroughs are literally basically just good luck, because it's different for every single game. You have to it's like Mortal Kombat, but instead there's different fighting stances, and to get from one stance to another, you have to make certain monkey noises. There's an ook, an ack, an eek, and a chi. Right?
Right.
And so you have to work out through playing how to switch from one monkey stance to another monkey stance. And certain stances beat other one. It's completely insane. I'd say look it up, but it
sounds
combat,
horrifying.
right?
It sounds horrifying.
It was. And now I struggled with it. The only way I did it was by keeping my phone next to me and literally making notes. This was a fucking 20-line long thing of notes. So I'd be okay, he's in the bobbing stage. I need to go into the anxious stage by doing chi chi ah, and it was genuinely insane. I can't imagine how I would have possibly done it as a kid.
I find that a lot. I find that a lot when I replay really old games, and I sit there just, how did I beat this as a child? How?
Yeah. Oh, it's games have absolutely no chill and have no right being this difficult. The old Disney platform games, like the Aladdin game and the Lion King game.
Lion King,
they have
that. I still remember that being horrible.
They have
the
no
young Simba
right.
sections.
Yeah.
They were the worst.
And they just had no the Aladdin ones, which I think I played more than the Lion King ones. Were literally just you had a certain amount of lives, and then that's it. You have to start from the beginning again. There's no oh, you got to level 2, so next time you can start from level 2. You died? Well, good fucking luck doing the whole game again.
Yeah.
It's Jesus.
And somehow
the Cave of Wonders bit. Oh.
As a child, you get pretty far into it, and it's how?
Yeah.
I feel like an idiot when I play some old games.
Yeah.
Because it's I legit would have beaten some puzzle game or some old RPG or something on my own back before you could look everything
before you could
up.
even yeah.
And it was just, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Now I need to look up a video on how to do stuff every 5 minutes.
Yeah. What have you been playing? Except from Eve.
Except from Eve. I have fallen off the wagon, and I've been playing a lot of Eve Online.
Yeah.
and triggering people, which has been amusing.
Inefficient.
Inefficient. People do get mad when you don't play efficient. But I've been playing a bit of Final Fantasy 1. I've been playing a bit of that. Had a great time with that, and surprisingly, I started playing some Dark Souls and Elden Ring.
Yeah, which are like the biggest for inefficient. Like I think people
Oh yeah,
trawl these categories. Can you imagine a game that you really like and that you're like you know how to complete it start to finish in the most efficient way because you really love this game? Would
yeah,
you trawl through the section on Twitch to find people with? I mean, find people that obviously aren't as experienced as you. Maybe they even have first playthrough, first
yeah.
blind playthrough in their thing, and you go, you're not doing it right. No, you need to go for a dex build. Actually, to do this, you need to be using the triple bladed flipple dipper. It's like
it,
what? I don't know what that is.
it's actual insanity.
I just yeah
I don't understand the logic because there's people like 9 times out of 10 they're usually wrong. Anyway, these sort of back seaters
yeah.
that come into my stream at twitch.tv/wolfshit. Um, but no, yeah, 9 times out of 10 they're wrong, or when they are correct, it's like the only reason they know that is because they've got like 600 hours in the game and they've
Yeah.
100%ed it 6 times and all of that.
Well,
And it's like, if this is someone's
yeah,
first playthrough, why not let them have that experience
yeah.
and go through it? Like that's part of the fun. But some people are
Like,
just like,
do you get
no.
a like? Could you imagine a game you've never played before, and you go right? I don't want to do any exploration. I don't want to try out any builds. Someone tell me the way to do this, the quickest, most efficient way, least amount of fun. I just want to complete this game, start to finish, now. Like, is that? I mean, if you play games like that, you're a psychopath. But like, you do you. But when you can clearly tell that's not how someone plays a game.
Yeah,
uh,
but it ruins it. It ruins the experience for that person. Because say you listen to them, it's you're done with the game that day. You don't get to play it
yeah.
hours and hours. It's like, yeah, I know everything. I'm bored now.
Do you think it's like a circle, like a rite of passage? So as soon as you complete it, you're supposed to then find a streamer that's just started, tell them how to do it, start to finish, most efficient way, and so it continues.
I will break that cycle. Because
Yeah.
I actively enjoy watching people go through shit and experience shit. Like I've watched a ton of people that are playing something that I've beaten a million times or played the crap out of, and I would
Yeah.
never help them unless I'm explicitly asked for help because
Yeah.
it ruins it for the people that are also there trying to watch it and enjoy as well. So you
Like I like if someone asks for it. Like, say if I am watching someone play a point and click adventure game that I completed a million times or whatever and can do start to finish. If I'm watching someone and they're genuinely stuck, there's no hint system in the game. They don't want to look up a walkthrough, but they're just like they just want a little push or whatever. I won't
yeah.
say you have to go here and use this on this to do this and this. And I'll be like, oh, are you sure you picked everything up in the barber shop? Or like,
Yeah, see
or just
that's good.
something, or just like
A
a little
little
nudge in the
nudge.
right
A
direction.
little
Yeah,
nudge, yeah.
yeah,
I think that's fine. But
yeah,
it's just the people and I think it's like this entitlement that they have. Like they
yeah,
are the expert and they get off on people listening to them or respect like they
yeah.
get some kind of
Thank you, Almighty
superiority.
One.
Yeah. That's what they want.
Yeah,
And particularly egregious on I've noticed female streams. So I get it a little bit, but I kind of tell them to go
A
fuck
lot of
themselves so they
mansplaining.
don't. Yeah, a lot of mansplaining. I have noticed it more. So I'm kind of glad I'm not having to deal with that level of it, because
Yeah.
it's even worse with them. I feel like they fully get off on it and are just like, "Oh, silly woman, listen to
Yeah.
me." And it's like some of them, it's like they want to have this superiority complex over the woman, or
This
they think,
power of I
yeah,
am the guardian of the
yeah,
game or whatever.
or
Yeah.
it's a mix of that and them thinking, "Oh, if I can get them to listen to me or rely on me, they will fuck me." But I'm sorry to say, lads out there, they're not going to.
Thank
Also,
you
I'm
for.
not sorry.
Just oh my god, that guy that told me how to beat fucking Gundyr. Oh my god,
Oh,
getting
that
pretty
guy
hot
who
and
got all
heavy here.
he got all salty in my chat,
Yeah.
and he told me everything to do in the thing, thus
He
spoiling the whole experience for me. And was really condescending when I didn't follow his instructions to the letter.
he
Oh my
starts telling
god,
you the
what a babe!
ideal dex build for maximum efficiency, and she
What a
starts.
babe!
Oh yeah.
I can guarantee
She starts picking out a wedding dress.
that there's because women love that shit, right? They love being corrected, right?
Oh, they love it. Yeah.
Love it.
I think they especially love it when you know they think they understand, but they just need you to break it down just a
Yeah,
little bit
yeah,
more,
yeah,
just
yeah.
simplify
Just
it a
in
bit, you know.
simpler terms, really dumb it down. Women love that.
They love it, don't they? Yeah.
Or even better, say you're dumbing it down, but make it overly complicated,
Oh yeah.
just so
Say
they know how smart you are.
honey, it's not that difficult, so I'm gonna spell it out for you. All you have to do is use the hyperfilaments with the dingo flopper. Like, what?
Oh my god, you don't even
You
know
fucking
what the
idiot.
dingo flopper is or hyperfilaments? Have you not even slayed the dragon on level
Yeah.
3 in the hidden secret room that you have to get the key from the tomb of a Boombu? Like, what is wrong with you?
You've never
Have you
been to the
played?
Tomb of a Bumbu?
God, it's on level 78, and you got to go through and fight the mummy who escaped from the tomb.
Look, I know I'm a genius. This comes from 6,000 hours of game time, but it's obvious.
It's so dumb. Like, for doing it on men's streams, it's definitely, I always get the vibe that they just want to have one over you.
Yeah.
But on chick streams, it's very creepy. It's like,
Yeah.
yes, listen to me.
Yeah.
It's terrible. I've lost all chill about it because I just I don't care
Yeah.
anymore. I don't care anymore. I will tell people to go just get fucked.
I have a thing to talk about, which is like a fusing of two topics.
Do it.
Okay, so it's about games and also the Rona. Okay, backtracking a little bit, but I have a theory.
Yeah.
Okay, so did you notice at the exact time that Animal Crossing New Horizons came out, coronavirus happened?
Oh my god. It all makes sense.
Yeah, and Call of Duty Warzone.
Oh my god.
Because I remember being in lockdown, or not even lockdown. I was like, oh god, there's this great new Call of Duty game. If only I had like some time to play it. I'm working solid. And then suddenly here have like 3 months off of work or whatever it was.
You know, there
I,
are a lot
I'm
of conspiracy theories out there
This is the one
But
with the most traction.
it could be. Like, this is a thing that could
Huh,
happen. There could have been one of
okay.
the health people in charge of it
Animal
all
Crossing New Horizons
and just
release
been like,
date.
you know what?
Oh my god, that's like.
I really want some time off.
Yeah. Okay.
What can we do,
so,
Gregory? I don't know, mate. What
Uh,
if we shut the world down? You genius!
first, okay. Are you ready? This is just based on the UK. Okay, on the 16th of March 2020, the Prime Minister said, "Now is the time for everyone to stop non-essential contact and travel." The 19th of March, the Prime Minister said the UK can turn the tide in 12 weeks. On the 23rd of March, the Prime Minister announced the first lockdown, ordering people to stay at home. On the 20th of March, in between those two, Animal Crossing New Horizons came out.
So what you're saying is Boris...
Call me crazy.
Boris loves him some Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I want some time to play Animal Crossing. I don't really get the time.
I mean,
And
it is fairly busy running a country, and
yeah, I mean, I can't imagine he went, "Oh, I'm in lockdown. I guess I'm furloughed," and kicked his feet up for 3 months. I imagine he was still fairly busy.
unless he was busy with Animal Crossing, and
Oh
that's
my
why.
god. Yeah. He
I
gives
think you've
like his
cracked
next
it.
he gives his next speech in Animalese. It's like, "Oh, here he comes," and he just goes.
Oh, oh
You're like,
dear.
what? um, I think okay. When did Call of Duty Warzone release date? The 10th of March. So that was the week before. It's just I
Yeah,
don't know.
it checks out. Yep,
It's just
it's
it's
Call of Duty, Animal Crossing. It shut the world down. That's the real truth.
yeah.
Please don't ban us,
Because that's
YouTube.
wake up sheeple.
Wake up, sheeple.
Because that's
Seriously, I
covering,
need some sheep people on my island.
Yeah, yeah. I think Dom is a sheep on Animal Crossing.
I've been saying you're a sheep for a long time. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Dom is a sheep. I don't really
yeah,
like
he is.
sheeps.
He is a sheep.
Yeah, but yeah.
He's always
That's
pretending to be a
crazy.
chicken, but he's not.
Yeah, that's we've blown it right open.
Oh, I'm giving you
We've
full
cracked it,
credit.
Holmes.
I'm giving you full
Yeah,
credit for this.
like,
And
I've been sitting on it. I've been sitting on it
all
for a
of the
while.
blame, depending on who you ask.
Yeah. If I suddenly go silent from when this goes out, they got me, the big dogs at Nintendo and Activision?
Yeah,
Question mark? I think so. Yeah, they got me.
yeah, they gotcha. They're circling the choppers now.
Yeah.
Well, that was worth circling back for. That was a
It was.
lovely
I
conspiracy
thought of
theory.
literally, you know the meme from It's Always Sunny with Charlie
Yeah,
with the
yeah, yeah.
board and all the connecting. Like I've just got a board which is like coronavirus, Animal Crossing, Warzone, lockdown,
Don't make me rewatch that show.
time.
Speaking of shows, though,
Yeah.
now that you're making me rewatch that,
Yeah.
a couple new shows came out.
Yeah.
Rings of Power, and of course, House of the Dragon.
Yeah.
Have
Which
you watched any of it?
I've not. And it can't be an accident that they come out basically at the same time. Because they're like
Direct
before they couldn't really
competition.
before they couldn't really be seen as competition because Lord of the Ring was not old news, but you know what I mean? It's like nothing really new is coming out for it. but now it's like literally 2 TV series, fairly similar in genre.
It's definitely intentional on one of their behalfs. I'm not sure who
Yeah. Oh yeah.
intended it to
Someone
compete,
set
but
a release date and
someone
someone else
did.
was like, all right. No, I've not watched either. And if I do watch, I'm just gonna watch House of Dragon because Sophie's into Lord of the Rings, and I watched it for the first time like last year. It's okay. It's pretty good, but not really too interested in watching it any further.
I mean, that hurts. I'm not gonna lie.
I know.
You know, we'll just keep moving right along.
Yeah.
I have watched Rings of Power and House of the Dragon. And Rings of Power, the only positive thing I can say about it is the sets and backdrops and general cinematography looks nice.
But it should be for the, was it 50 million budget per episode?
Something insane like that,
yeah.
But it's very obvious there's a lot of money in it, but it's also very obvious where that money went.
Yeah.
The acting, it's not the worst acting I've seen, but it's not the best.
It's not world class. Pay these
No.
actors millions because you've got the budget to.
No. But I can't decide whether or not that's a script issue.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they're bad actors.
I mean, you'd hope so, because again, if
It's
something's like,
I'm
that's
leaning,
a bit shit, you can reshoot, you can.
I'm leaning more towards script issue, which they could then fix that if they get better writers. Because, to be honest, the writing is it's not. It's not. House of the Dragon, though. Also, the costumes in the Rings of Power, they're awful. They look like.
Oh yeah, I remember you showed me the printed on chainmail.
Yeah, it's really really bad. And they're all kind of mismatchy.
Like,
and just
I've heard of a
chainmail
shirt, but like that's a chainmail shirt.
Yeah, this is just literally linen. Like you can see the folds, and it's just bad. But a lot of them
T-shirt with
that's actually
chainmail on it.
That picture that I showed you, that's one of the better looking costumes.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them just look cobbled together. Like there was a lot of criticisms that people had for Peter Jackson's trilogy, but he got the costumes perfect. They looked great. They looked fantastic. They should have. I don't know how much they could do because of legal issues, but they should have taken some cues from that, and I don't know. They should have just done a better job.
Yeah.
Because it looks like bad cosplay a lot of the time, but the scenery looks fantastic. House of the Dragon, though, I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, I'll give it a watch. We can maybe update on the next podcast, which will be any day.
It is definitely a slow burn, but it's meant to be.
Yeah,
it's meant to be. It's that kind of slow building up intrigue thing, and
Game of Thrones kind of known for it, and then you suddenly
it all just pops off.
Yeah.
And then you get some slower moments in between, and then it pops up again, and you're waiting for the next intriguey bit. I've read the books, of course, so I know what's going to happen. And so far, they are following the source material pretty well. I can't think of anything too bad to say about it. There's some moments that I wish they would flesh out more.
Yeah.
but since you haven't seen it yet, I'm not going to
No spoilers.
mention that. No spoilies. But
Yeah.
would
I will
recommend.
be watching it pretty soon. Yeah. How many episodes are out now? Is it 2 or
I
3?
think it's 3 now, or the
Yeah.
third's about to come out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So homework for next one is watch House of the Dragon.
Yep.
And you get back. Tell me what you think of it as a more casual. Like, I'm super nerd viewer, so I'd be interested. You can be the everyman kind of viewer.
Oh.
And so next episode of this, whenever the hell we
I'm
do
sure
that,
it'll be soon.
it's just another 3 years.
Hello, cat.
Oh yeah, you do have a kitty now.
Yeah, got a kitty.
Yeah, little kitten. Give it no, cats don't get biscuits.
He gets these Felix like little biscuit
It's not the
things. He
same.
likes them. Okay, you want to go now? Do you hate me? Yeah. Okay, off you go.
Okay. Do you have just as a final thing? Do you have any how-dos?
Ah, shit. Hold on, bear with me. I'm sure I wrote down like a bunch, but no, but I've got somewhere on my phone that I just write things that are in my mind or whatever, and I forgot about most of this. Like, so this isn't a how-do. This is just a question for someone to do some research on, or maybe,
Okay.
well, maybe you know the answer.
Maybe.
Okay, this is gonna sound insane.
I could make up an answer.
Are you ready for what you're about to hear?
Uh-huh.
That's a microwave. Okay,
Okay.
it dinged. Do they make microwaves where you can set your own noise?
Yes.
They do.
Yes.
Have you got one?
I don't have one, no. But
But how do you know it exists?
I've seen them.
You've seen them.
Yeah. Hang on.
Oh, you're looking it up now. Because imagine a microwave that just goes, "Hey, food's ready." Because some of them ding, some of them beep.
Okay, it's something I think I'm gonna have to find. But
Yeah, it's a bit of a meat pie now.
Yeah, we can end on a meat pie. That's
yeah.
Uh,
Well, maybe do your own research. If you're listening, is there?
If anyone hears this before we have the next episode, I guess, if anyone has an example on it, post it in the comments, and we'll play it. But I have seen it. I have seen that it's possible.
And what would you set the noise to if you have one?
Probably like a celebrity voice.
Right.
Just
Be
yelling
Morgan
at
Freeman
me,
saying, "Your food is ready." Just like,
or like someone going "suey," like calling in the pigs.
oh yeah.
That would be another one. But in the intervening time between now and the next episode, I will try to find an example, or someone could post in the comments an example of their own.
Or maybe you have one. Maybe you listen. You're so privileged that you have a microwave where you can set your own noise.
Show us your
I've just never
custom
heard
microwave
of it being a
noise.
thing. Yeah, like a yo like, done your food is.
But with
like that.
With a quick search, I did find that there is someone that has a 10-hour microwave sound for sleeping to. Yeah.
I used to harmonize with the microwave, so it'd be going like, and it'd be like, and it'd be like a, Do you think there's microwaves that hum in different like pitches, and you could have like a symphony?
I have seen that as well. You can get various brands that make different noises and set them up. That is definitely a thing. But I mean,
so
we'll end on the meat pie. Fuck it, why not?
yeah. So recap.
Let us know. Tell us about your microwave.
Are there microwaves where you can set your own noise? If so, show us. If you had one, what would you set the noise to?
Yes.
And then just tell us about your current microwave.
Yeah.
Is it alright?
Tell us about your microwave.
Does it do the job? Evenly warm food?
And if there is anything that anyone listening might want us to rant about, post a comment. Post a comment. We'll bring it up. Maybe talk about it. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, see you in another 3 years.
Yeah, see you in 3 years.
Yeah, alright. Okay, bye!
Bye!